Sports fans, join us for a watch party during tonight's Game 7 on the new Playback app. Just sign in using your TV provider or League Pass login, and we can actually watch the game, you can chat with us, and even come on stage and discuss on camera. You in? The Miami Heat have extended this series with the Boston Celtics by surprising everyone with a hard-fought Game 6 victory on the road. But how is it possible that a guy who looked like this for 2 games in a row suddenly found the range and looked like the second coming of Michael Jordan? Let's take a deep look at the last 3 games to figure this all out, as it only serves to add to the myth of none other than Jimmy Buckets. Let's not forget that Butler missed the second half of Game 3 with right knee soreness, as he could be seen with a big brace on it during the first half when he was trying to play through it. In Game 4, there were plenty of examples of him struggling to make shots when needing to plant that right foot and get his normal lift and have it not be there for him. On this back down post up, notice on the spin how he has to plant that right leg with all his weight on it in order to propel him up into the shot. Lots of contact, but we're accustomed to seeing Jimmy go through contact like this no problem. Here's a left-right spot up on an inbounds play where he needs that right knee to absorb a lot of force, especially crucial since this is a 20-footer and energy transfer is key from this distance. With the way the refs were calling contact down low, having a sore knee that doesn't let you explode like normal can influence a shot like this, where again that knee wasn't there to give him his usual lift through contact. Games 4 and 5 showed a significant drop in usage from Butler, also indicating he wasn't being as aggressive as he'd been in Games 1 and 2. In Game 5, he wasn't much better, as he began relying on his old nemesis, the three-pointer, much more than usual. Rather than blow by the mismatch in the corner, he settles for a jab step shot, getting off the floor maybe an inch, but then trying to use the right leg kickout normally reserved for pull-up shots off the dribble when moving to the right. It's no surprise that a 2-motion shot without any jump winds up several inches short. He again settles against another mismatch that he normally would have gone right by, trying to generate rhythm from a standstill. One reason he's so inconsistent is that he mistimes his arm swing up almost every time. You can see him begin the arm swing at the same time he begins to bend his knees. This is too early, and as a result his arms feel like they need to wait for the legs to catch up. But combine that with a 4-inch jump and there's just no energy to get it all the way to the rim. This arrhythmic style culminates in his worst miss of the season, as the shot fake does get him wide open, but also makes this harder to generate energy from a standstill. Here, he again sinks the arm swing up with the leg bend down, when it should be the leg bend first. Now the ball has to wait until the legs start straightening, sapping all the power of the shot, and it ends up 2 feet short. It's sometimes painful for me to see Jimmy attempt these three-pointers, since he must know that if you take care of your three-point balls, you'll score a lot more in the game and in life. That's why you must get Manscaped's Performance Package. It's vital to keep things tidy on your face and in your more sensitive areas, and their Lawnmower 4.0 can take care of both. It's cordless and waterproof, so use it in the shower and you won't piss off your wife. But Manscaped's Performance Package has tons more. Their Weed Whacker defends you all up in your face, sending those annoying nose and ear hairs back into the stands. And the Crop Reviver has cool aloe vera to keep your balls dishing and swishing. Without question, Jimmy wasn't taking care of his balls in Games 4 and 5, but started handling them a lot better in Game 6 after he used my code BBALL to save 20% off your order. But I'll also call Manscaped and tell them to give you 2 free gifts for a limited time: the Shed Travel Bag and Anti-Chafing Boxer Briefs. I wear these all the time, and I wouldn't trust anyone else next to my Performance Package. So click on the link below, use my code BBALL, and you'll see why Butler was so much better in Game 6, where he hit 4 of 8 threes to see if anything was different. First off, he gets immediately into the shot off the catch. Notice how his knees are already loaded before the arm swing up. There's still a slight hang before the release, but much better energy transfer and much better result. Again, he doesn't hesitate on the catch. Someone must have told him to get lower earlier, and this again helps him with energy transfer as he hits this left corner shot. He went back to his old ways on this one, as the ball gets almost to the set point as he's still bending his knees. Notice how he moves the ball slightly back into his right at the end. This is almost another version of the dip in a different vector, and this gives just enough added energy to overcome his 3-inch jump. He keeps the ball straight and it swishes through. And to show you how much he's feeling it, he again passes up the easier and open catch and shoot in order to jab step, stand still, wait, but I do like how he replaces the right foot to generate energy from the ground. The ball does stop at the set point for 10 frames before he straightens the elbow into the release, but in the corner, a few feet closer to the rim, you can get away with this more often. He must have been feeling better 6 days after missing the second half of Game 3, since he doesn't settle for the shot here, instead showing some explosion and then using his right leg as the fulcrum to change directions, absorb the contact, and get the foul. In the fourth quarter, as the Heat were desperately trying to hold off the Celtics, he doesn't settle for the wide open 3. That right leg has to absorb a lot of force when he hits the brakes, then needs to stiffen and provide the primary force for this turnaround over a taller defender, and he makes it look easy. He scored 4 times out of the pick and roll, and on this one, he doesn't settle for the mid-range pull-up, instead hitting him with a spin move that again shows you how much better his right knee must be feeling, since all of his weight at full speed is placed on that leg, and he finishes the layup no problem. In the fourth quarter, he gets the inside ball screen to the nail, and this was a silly challenge of the call by the Celtics, as Williams was not only in his landing space, but also made contact with Jimmy's elbow on the shot. Contrast that to Jimmy in Game 5, where he also gets the ball screen to his right, finds a wide open 18-footer, gets a ton of height using that right leg as the fulcrum of a jump, but hangs too long with his knees even bending in the air, and the ball is off to the right and slightly short. Back to Game 6, another pick and roll to his right, and you've got to say his knee is 100% as he takes Marcus Smart to the weight room before hopping into an easy shot from 5 feet off the glass. Contrast that to several pick and rolls he got in Game 5, where he just seemed off, trying an off-foot lefty finger roll with a tough angle that he can't get to go down. And this short-range ball screen gets him wide open from 15 feet, but he can't calibrate his jump at all, sending this at least 2 feet over the rim. Cut to deep in the fourth in Game 6. The game hangs in the balance, and he gets by the bad hedge from Derek White, but encounters Horford waiting for him. He not only uses that right leg to plant up into the shot, he explodes at full speed, absorbs the contact, gets the shot off above the contest, and earns the and one. When your knee isn't feeling good, you probably don't feel like you can isolate on a defender, and when he did in Game 5, again he settles for an inefficient contested step back. But in Game 6, he goes right at Robert Williams, hitting him with a through the legs, but then lifting off that right leg and somehow shooting this reverse with the right hand. I think the ball was confused for a second too, before finally saying, okay, I'll go in the hoop. And at the end of the third, he targets Derek White, finding an open spot at the elbow and just elevating over his face guard to drop in another key bucket. And to remind us all that he's a gamer, someone that you can rely on despite past struggles, with only 46 seconds left and the Celtics with all the momentum, he hits a ridiculous shot with no time on the shot clock, spinning in the air while the ball sits at his set point, then releasing after the apex of his jump with his foot on the three-point line and drops right in, ending the game and catapulting the Heat into a Game 7 in Miami, where history tells you that you have to favor the home team. But if this series has taught us anything, it's to be ready for the least expected outcome. But with Jimmy's knee feeling as good as it appears, the Celtics are going to need more than a lucky leprechaun to pull this out.